Hey everyone, my name is Michelle, and this is my annual Christmas Flosstube. I tried doing this before, it was really long, so I had to edit a little bit and refilm it. I have a little bit of shop talk to let you know about before I start, and then we're just going to get right into it. I just wanted to let you know that I am going to be opening up retreat signups on January 15th. You will find the link if you go to Farm Girl, the Gatherings tab on my website on the 15th. There will be information there. Or you can sign up for my newsletter, and you can do that by adding your email at the bottom of any page on my website, and I'll be sending out an email, and I'll probably also post it to Instagram as a reminder. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Farm Girl Dry Goods. And I finally got my account figured out so that my Instagram stories are now also posting to my Facebook business account. For the longest time, they've been posting to my private account. So I got that worked out, and I'm sharing them all there so you can capture them there as well. Most of that, a lot of that is farm stuff, not necessarily stitching, but I do try and post some stitching there as well. My feed is all cross stitch, but my stories are farm. Lots of goats and stuff. So if you, I know a lot of comments I got last time were that you wanted to hear more about the goats and things, but I try and keep this to needlework. So if you want to hear about the goats, Facebook or Instagram. I have so much here to show you. A lot of the stuff I'm going to show you is still available. If it's not, I will let you know where you can find it. I don't know the names of all of these patterns. I'm going to do my best to, if I don't know, I'll let you know, and then I will try and find them and post the name of them down here. I'm going to show you so much now, so you might want to grab a pen and pencil so you can jot them down. Any of the Brenda Gervais stuff, if it's available, I carry all her entire line that's available to shops. If it's not on my website, I don't think I have much out of stock. I'm waiting on maker and mender charts. So, and I am putting together some kits for that. That's going to be a January start for me, I think. And I'll have some kits available there. Otherwise, that's the only chart that I'm aware of right now that's out of stock. Okay, so I'm going to get through this ginormous pile. I think I'll start with my framed pieces first, and then we'll move on to smalls. So I have oodles of them here. They're just so fun to pull out every year. I love it. This one is a Little House Needleworks, and it is Santa's Village. This was a series of 12. I only did 4. Everyone was doing this a few years ago when this was released. And I really didn't like my fabric choice. I did it on a Witchelt lamb's wool, and the fabric is very stiff. And other than that, I really liked, a lot of people were stitching it on a blue. And so I did, I got some blue fabric, and I eventually one day I'd like to start this over and do all 12 of them on that piece. So pretty. The colors are just so cheerful, and it's so cute. There's little buttons in there. There's a button here. They're Just Another Button Company buttons. There's one here, and there's one here. Each of them, I think, had a button that went with it, and I think their cookies are. And then I'm trying to think if there was an additional border, or it gave you instructions on how to attach all these borders together, I believe. But this, you can find these on Little House Needleworks. Their website has information about that border if you need it. And let's see what else we've got here. This is another Little House Needleworks. This is Farmhouse Christmas. So many of us did this together too a few years ago. And this is also a series of 9. She's now got a fall one out too. I have all my stuff framed. The last one I did frame myself, but and it does need to be restretched. But this one I had framed at Michael's. I think they do a really good job. A lot of the frames that they use are the same frames that you can get at framing shops. And I have it framed with a anti-reflective UV protectant glass. And I have them add spacers. They just do a nice job. And then this is stitched on a 32 count natural, or actually I think I did this one on a 28 count natural linen, and I used all the called for colors on this one. And then again, she's got the border is available as a download on her website, littlehouseneedleworks.com. So cute. I love this one. And, oh, that one's heavy. Let's grab a smaller one. This is an oldie. I don't remember who the designer is for this, but I know there's a companion piece as well with a big white barn. I've always wanted to stitch that one as well. This is like circa 1995. And this is stitched on like it's a Joblin. I can feel it's a Joblin. And I think it's a 28 count. It's all DMC and lots of quarter and half stitches, 3/4 stitches, and all that back stitch. And one of these days I'll get this framed. That tree was just, oh, a bear. And all the white. But I still really love this. And let's see, what else do we have here? This one is a With Thy Needle and Thread, and this is Winter Rose Manor. Let me get situated here. This is Winter Rose Manor. I was just watching Carol's video yesterday, and she was talking about this. She used all the called for threads too, and she was talking about the house and how the house is really light on this fabric. This is the original fabric was a dirty linen, and when Brenda did, when her and I did the first retreat that I did with her, this was originally released, or this was originally a design for a Shepherd's Bush retreat. And it was the following year, maybe even 2 years later, I had asked her if she would be willing to make this available to my retreat attendees, and she graciously did that. But the linen that was called for was a 36 count natural, or 36 count dirty linen, and they no longer make it. So she did release it, and then I think she ended up reprinting it in a booklet form and publishing it with a different linen choice. And I think it's Brenda's Brew maybe, but those of us who attended the retreat and stitched it, I think a lot of us stitched it on Winter's Brew. And it's maybe a little bit light for it. I don't know if Brenda's Brew is maybe a little bit darker. But you could also just brighten up the whites, but the house color is perfect. I really love the house. The whole thing, this was one of my all-time favorite stitches. I stitched this in less than 2 weeks. I just couldn't put it down once I started it. And I did use the oatmeal, or roasted marshmallow is the white. And I thought about changing it out, but everything else is kind of so soft on this that it would have been a little too stark for me. I really love it the way that it is. I think it's really beautiful. And the one thing I did do is, I can't remember if that called to backstitch that or not, but I did backstitch that and just the border on the house. But it's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Just love this. It's so pretty. The border is really fun because you don't have to do the same thing all the way around. I always appreciate that. So pretty. And I had this one also framed at Michael's, and I did this the year after that retreat. I want to say it was maybe 2019. So pretty. And then I have a few smaller frame finishes here. So this one is a Stacy Nash, and it's Deck the Halls Pinky. Now she does need a big green bow on her dress here, which I haven't put it on there yet. And this is a standard 5x7 frame, and had I been more patient, I would have added a couple snowflakes in just to fill this gap here, but I love it. And I literally just popped it into a frame. And this is just a standard 5x7 frame I got at Hobby Lobby. So pretty. So this next one was, at the time I stitched it, it was discontinued. I know it was a Dimensions kit, and I know that they brought it back because there was a huge hubbub about it, and kits were selling like crazy on eBay. So it's Dimensions, and it's called Scenic Farm. And there's lots of blended threads and everything in here, and quarter and half stitches, and the back stitch don't save it till the end because it'll kill you. I show my goats every year at the Minnesota State Fair, and we're there for 4 days, so I used to bring this with me. And it smelled so bad. So I actually had to wash it, and I was really surprised. I thought this red was going to bleed quite a bit, and it didn't. And I know that I've seen this frame at a lot of framing shops, and this is actually the same frame that Diane had Farmhouse Christmas framed in. So if you look at the cover, it's this. But I had this done at Michael's, and they did a really great job. I stitched this on the Ada that came with the kit. Is a punch needle, but this was a gift from Teresa Kogut, and I just had to show it to you. It's one of my favorites. She's such an amazing, talented artist. And then she also gave me this cutie. So this is like a little purse. I love this. I hang this. I have a little peg shelf in my entryway, and I decorate it for Christmas, and I hang this on it. So cute. But it isn't like an actual purse. It'd be perfect for like tucking your phone in a couple debit cards. And wait till you see the face on this. Look at him. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, this is spectacular. I love, love, love this. I'm not sure who the designer is on this, but I got this as a kit. And it was called Kringle and Company. I do remember that. And it was like by Primitive Pin Keep or something like that. But it came with all the fabric and this amazing velvet. This hand-dyed velvet. And I put some extra jingle bells and these little snowflakes and things on it. And this ribbon is for tying your scissors, and then you roll it up. And it's got some seam binding ribbon here for tying it up. Be of good cheer, and this is a Scarlet House. This is not my typical finish, but I stitched this on the called for linen, but I think it was supposed to be over 1 and be teeny, and I stitched it over 2, and I did use silk, and it ate up a lot of silk. This is a 28 count linen, I'm pretty sure. I think the ginghams only come in 28 count. I could be wrong about that, but. And this is Schoolhouse Red, and I remember using 2 skeins of that. Gloriana. Just so pretty. The Peppermint and Holly, and this is by With Thy Needle and Thread. This you can find only on Brenda's website, and I think I stitched mine on gunmetal. It also, that was back in the day when we would use 2 strands regularly on a 36 count linen, and so I only used 1 strand, and I thought the coverage was just fine, and I used all the called for threads on this one. So sweet. And then this is just a standard 5x7 frame that I popped this into. This is a chart that's no longer available, and I do not know the name of it. But this was a Cricut collection. I actually borrowed this chart from my friend Marcy. And we stopped at Stitchville, and this was there. And it fit perfectly. Now, there was a red kind of zigzag border on the top and bottom. It made it look really, really busy with this frame. So I ended up pulling those stitches out. And then it fit absolutely perfectly in here. And so I think it was just meant to be. And I just think it's so sweet. And I didn't use any of the called for colors. I just kind of pulled threads as I went. And I just think it's sweet. Framed by Michael's as well. They're actually making me a new frame. I have had really good luck having stuff framed there. The only thing I would suggest is going during the day when the actual framer is there, not at night when they have kids manning the desk, because she measured incorrectly, and it fits just perfect. Like, you can see how close it is. So everything is in there, and they did do a really good job pinning it. It's just a shadow, but it's it just hits the berries on the top and the bottom there. But it yeah, that's a little too tight for me. So they're making me a new frame. And I just told them I would lace it myself. So they're going to have everything there for me. Of course, they're not charging me. And they're putting a rush on it. But that's the only time well, maybe one or two other times I've had them had to reframe something, but they don't have any problems reframing it. You do get your stuff back in 2 weeks as well, which is something that I like. And I don't have to ship it anywhere. Then I can just drop it off somewhere. So this is, did I even say, this is Blackberry Designs Feliz Navidad in all the called for colors, and then the fabric I dyed myself. And this one, it took me forever because every letter is a different color, but it's so pretty. Very pretty. Oh shoot, did I forget to finish that berry bow? Look at that. Would you look at that? Oh, I'll have to finish that when I take it out to repin it. Yeah, I think I neglected to fill in the green around there. Can you believe that? Jiminy Christmas. The next one is one I just finished framing. This is Pineberry Lane, Pineberry Lane Primitives, and it's called Bringing Home the Tree. But this one, actually, I found this frame again at Stitchville. I mean, I loved this frame. I love also how thick it is so that it can just sit. I stitched this on a Lakeside Linen 36 count vintage cedar plank. I think that's what this is. I'm pretty sure. And then I stitched it just in all DMC. My toxic trait is to do conversions and not write them down. So I have no idea what colors I use. I used 3777 for the red. It only used I used grits, I think, for the white. And I don't remember what else, but it's all DMC. There is obviously a DMC chart in there. I just didn't follow it. I have a tendency to do that when the chart is charted with DMC. But it actually ended right here with these two right here. And my frame was a little big, but I really wanted to use this frame. So I just added these two trees, and I just pulled similar trees from up here. And then I added a basket on the bottom of that. And so it's really sweet. And then this is a really deep frame. And I'm probably never going to finish the backs of these, to be honest. Nobody looks at the back. So I just leave them like that. This is a little wool applique finish. I have kits of this on my website. I'll post it right here. This is by So Cherished. I love little kids playing in the snow. And I did change the colors around a little bit. I use this kind of, it's like almost like a barnwood wool. And I used a bluish gray background. And then I embroidered some snowflakes on the back of it. And then I backed it. And the kit comes with the backing too, with the same kind of wool. And it's got a few little buttons in there. It's so sweet. And then I just have it on this garden gate. And I actually have a smaller, I found this in Amana at the Painted Cupboard. They have a lot of things like this. I have smaller ones. I found a distributor for them, so I started carrying them on my website. They're little 10-inch ones, and they're perfect for, hanging cross stitch and stuff like this. Little small finishes, and then you can swap them out seasonally. I really like that. This is a Plum Street sampler, and it's called Farmhouse Christmas. Pretty sure that's correct. If it's not, I'll post it here, and I do carry this one. This one, I stitched this on a 32 count Murky by Picture This Plus. It's hard to find. And then I did mine in all DMC. So just very, very easy to source that. And again, I'm sure I pulled my own colors for it. And then I stitched it in this I finished it in this really pretty gray. And this is stuffed with cotton. I love using cotton as a filler. It acts kind of a lot like sawdust without all the mess. The sawdust I use is really fine and can be really dusty, which I'll try and show you how dusty it can be. But this is really nice. The only thing I will tell you when you use cotton is you don't want to use it for pincushions that you actually want to put a pin in because it's so dense. I'm not sure why, but it does not needle. Because obviously we use a lot of 100% cottons. Like I use Warm and Natural, which is 100% cotton batting in my quilts, and it needles beautifully. But this stuff does not. It's so dense you cannot get a pin in there. It's a pain. This next one is not really Christmassy, but I always put it out at Christmas. I think of it as kind of Christmassy. And I think it was actually in a Christmas edition. It's by the Primitive Hair, and I think it was in a Primitive Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine issue back in like 2016 or 2017. So I don't know if this one is available or not, but it's so sweet. And it's all DMC too, and this was a linen that I dyed myself. And then this one is stuffed with wool. I used to breed Angora rabbits, so I know this one I have to keep up high because the dogs find these very interesting. I did these a few years ago, and I do now carry these because I have to carry all the stuff that I love, of course. And I love her pincushions, so I have a bunch of them kitted up. I just restocked these, and I also have the Santa hats, and they come with all the jingle bells and everything. So I overstuffed this guy a little bit, and I keep meaning to pull them apart, but I just haven't yet, and take a little bit of the cotton batting out. I also put crushed walnut shells in the bottom. I also line all my wool with SF101 because it just really holds better. I mean, this guy's so cute. So cute. And I have kits that come with Just Another Button Company cardinal pins too. They're so cute. He usually has cardinal pins in him, but I had them in my box here. So those are adorable. There's also a sleigh that I really, really want to finish. And then this guy, I can't think of, I knitted this one, and I can't think of where the pattern came from. He needs a scarf, and I think I'm just going to take a piece of wool, and because I have a ton of wool, and I would like to knit him some friends one day. But he's so cute, like this little, I don't know, what is he, a little elf? I don't know, but he's so sweet. I did that one a long time ago. Then I did these as a Patreon tutorial. I made these little pine cones, these little wool pine cones. They're so cute. And I just tuck these into a little, like as a bowl filler with some of my finishes. I love those. And then this one is a pincushion. You know, he's just holding these for me, but this was a buttermilk basin make and take that I convinced my daughters to go with me one weekend, and we all made these little pincushions. But it used to be once a month, and for $10 you'd go in and you'd get a kit, and you could just sit there and they give you instructions, and you'd go home with this. So this is Madeline's, and I have another one somewhere around here, but I just think hers is so cute. And they give you the buttons and everything. It's really fun if you have an opportunity to go. I live close to Buttermilk Basin. Not close, it's about an hour, but close enough that I can go. This is a little ornament stitched for me by my friend Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail. And this is from the Prairie Schooler Button Up pattern. It's a series of 9 little finishes that you can either stitch all together as one or these individual little pillows. And she just backed it so sweet. And I don't typically put cross stitch on my trees because I have 2 cats and 3 dogs. So this bow looks really nice. I just tuck it under, and then I put it in a little cubby, was where I put all my small Christmas finishes. This is from Prairie Schooler January. So it's like the month series. And that has like a larger sampler, and then it has like this smaller pattern like this, and then a little fob or tiny pincushion. And so I stitched the medium and the smaller one, and they're so cute. And then I put these together. I have a little tin that I put them in with. I have a thing for little kids sledding, so I put it with the one that Kathleen gave me. I just have a little collection of them. They're so sweet. And then this is a Foxwood Crossing. I'm not sure of the name of this pattern, but that's the designer. I stitched on perforated paper. They have a whole bunch of series of these that you mount on the sleds and that you stitch on perforated paper. And they're so easy. And more kids sledding. They're so cute. Look at the little mailbox. I mean, the detail that you can get in these little tiny finishes is just incredible. And so that goes in a little tin with my little Hummel guy. And so he sits in here with these. And it's just a sweet little display. And I'd like to add to it for the next several years. And this I just picked up at like a little vintage shop. It's not a Hummel brand. The last time I said that, I got scolded by a couple people, but I call him a Hummel. It's Hummelish. But isn't he cute? I just love that. I think I paid like $8 for him at an antique sale at the state fair. Then I have these little sled finishes, and these are all Foxwood crossings. Now I know Lizzie Kate does some, and I don't know if those are still available or not. But again, these are just perforated paper, and I just put these little, it needed a little something extra. I don't know if I love those, but I just put a jingle bell on all of them. So they come 3 to a pack. So this one came with these, and I think that they were, they're called like Quaker Christmas. The colors are just really pretty. The third one. The 3 of these came in on one pattern. This one, I don't know what happened to the handle here. They sometimes fall off. And so there's the church, the cabin, and the barn. And those all came on one pattern as well. Next I have, this is a buttermilk basin, and it's wool applique. Very simple, very easy. And this one is filled with cotton. And then I just have this as a backing fabric. It just had all the colors in it. It was perfect. This is a Stacy Nash, and I believe it's Merry Christmas pin keep. I still need to go through and antique it, and then I want to add some tinsel. This little mini like vintage tinsel. I love this. And I do have, I found a source for some pink, and I do still have red. I believe I still have red. Do I still have red? But they're in the, they are kitted with the Love Notes finishing kits. But that is so sweet. So before Christmas here yet, I still really want to get this antiqued and get that finished. Next is a buttermilk basin pin keep, and I have these kitted as well. So cute. She's got a whole series of these. I've done a couple of them. And you can just finish it in an afternoon. It's really sweet. And then you open it up, and it has the fabric, and then here's where you put your wool or your needles. I just think that's really cute. This would actually be, if you just wanted to back it too and put a ribbon on it, would make a cute little ornament. Then these were a download off of Etsy, and I really do not remember who the designer of this was. But it came with 3 of them. There was a little like gingerbread lady too, and I have not done that one. So it's a little cocoa mug, and then I just love this one. A little ice skate. And then you embroider, and you stitch the laces to look like, you stitch little lace holes, and then you stitch right through those and lace up your skate. And then you made a little pom-pom. It's so cute. So those are really sweet. Is Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. It's not called Merry and Bright. I do not I think this is called Ho Ho Ho. I'm pretty sure. And this one I stitched on a Weeks Dye Works Cocoa, and I didn't use any of the called for threads. I doubt it. This looks like it's probably ecru, and I'm sure I switched out all the colors because of the cocoa. So cute. Look at the little reindeer. And got this on the back, and this definitely needs some trim of some sort. Maybe pink? No. Red might go though. That'd be cute. This is Little House Needleworks Country Christmas. And so this is what I mean. Like I do a small pillow finish, but I don't put a ribbon or anything on it. And then I just set it in a bowl or somewhere up high. Oh, and I was wondering what that was. I put a little pin in it. And this is a With Thy Needle and Thread. I think this is the Holiday Hoopla, and this is Holiday Hoopla Christmas. And I'm trying to think if I bought this as a kit. I think I may have. and it's a 3-inch hoop, and then I stained my hoop, so it's a little darker. I'm pretty sure this was a kit. I think I got this from Brenda at one of the retreats, kitted up. So sweet. And then I just finished it with a little scrapbook paper. And then this one, I just saw Carol show these on her video. So I finished mine as well a few years ago. These were kits that Brenda offered. They were exclusive to my retreat. And then I just used some beads I had in stash because I have a ton of old Millhouse beads, I think they are, from back in the 90s. I used to do a lot of Elizabeth designs, and she used a lot of beads. And then this one is Scarlet House, Jingle All the Way. I'm pretty sure I did not use, I used silks, but I didn't use the called for. It is the called for fabric, which I believe is a picture of this plus, and it's, I think it's Kermit. I could be wrong about that, but it's whatever the called for fabric is. And then I just used some trim that I had and backed it in this. This is a figgy pudding by Basic Gray. I have made so many kits. I think I bought like either half yard or 1 yard pack of that whole line because I loved it so much, and I have used it and used it and used it over the years. This is a Cricut collection, old. I don't think this is available anymore either. And I backed another Cricut collection out of that figgy pudding line. And they're so sweet. And then I just put a rickrack on it. That could have used some beads too. That would have been cute with the little bead finish. But I had those done for probably 20 years before I finally got around to finishing them. This is Be Merry and Bright. This is available now. I got it as a club kit from Dying to Stitch. But it's available now. I actually I used the threads and everything to stitch it, but I didn't use the backing fabric of this red that I really like. And then I didn't use the trim, and I wish I put some trim on here. I need to. This one's stuffed with sawdust. And so you can see sawdust is very pliable and it kind of sticks. And but then you can flatten it out, and you really want to shove so much in there you can't get any more in there. And then you can see it's a little dusty. So that's why I prefer the cotton over it. But that's really sweet. Shouldn't have done that. Then let's see. Here's another Scarlet House, and I'm pretty sure this was another club kit. And I, again, did not use the trims. I used the Basic Gray fabric line again. And I really liked the greens in here. And so I just put a little green rickrack on there. And it's so cute. And then this one is filled with crushed walnut shells, which I don't love as much as I used to. Maybe for some things, but I wish I would have done this with something different. This is December 25th by Stacy Nash. And I pulled all my own colors for that. Got that red on the back. And this is, I don't remember what it's called. It's not called Frosty, but this is a With Thy Needle and Thread. There's a companion piece to this called Snowbirds, which it's a little couple. And I really want to stitch that one. I changed the backing fabric, and I think I may have changed some of the, I think this is Stepping Stones, what it looks like. So I may have changed some colors because I changed the background fabric, but I love that blue with the pop of red. So pretty. This one needs some trim as well. I think white pom-pom trim would be super cute on here. So I need to get around to getting those done. Then this one is Horse Country Holiday, and this is by Artful Offerings. Now, Country Sampler did a conversion on this where they used really kind of prim colors. I don't think I used their thread conversion, but mine is based off of their conversion. They also used a Weeks Dye Works gray linen, and this is Picture This Plus Brash, and I just really liked it. It's super prim. It's so cute. Oh, and I put a little bell on him. And used this fabric. And then I put just a little velvet trim. So cute. This is one of my all-time favorites. I really like this one. Then I have a couple more here. This is a width eye needle and thread, also only available on our website because it's punch needle. This one, Teresa Kogut helped me with this. It's the only punch needle that I have started and finished. I did this at a retreat, and Teresa let me use her punch, and it was so helpful. And I swore I was going to come home and punch everything, and of course I didn't. And I bet I couldn't. I couldn't punch a hole in the side of the wall probably now. So I'm going to have to probably ask her again and maybe videotape it this time. So when I get home, I don't feel so lost. But I did get the punch needle from her website. And that one is really, really nice. Much better than the Ultra Punch. I like it. So I would recommend it for sure. This one is Santa's Workshop. This was out of a Just Cross Stitch Christmas magazine. So I don't know if it's available or not, but it's so cute. You stitch the front and back, and then you just do this little mattress stitch to stitch the sides together. I don't have my glasses on, but I don't know why that's... Oh, I think you back stitched with the red and then stitched together. I don't know. But I obviously used red and green. And then I just put a couple rusty bells on the bottom. And I heard Carol talking about rusty bells. I actually carry rusty bells, so you don't have to buy a million of them. I have them for just a couple dollars in sets of 12. And I have them in a lot of different sizes with pins. I have rusty wire. So if you're looking for anything like that, it's a good add-on when you're buying charts and things like that. But yeah, that's so sweet. So we actually have all of our keys hanging by the door, and I always hang that next to it. Okay, I think we got through most of that. Let me regroup again. So I have a couple more little woolly finishes that I was working on. I had misplaced these a while ago. I meant to give these to my grandkids for Christmas 2 years ago and misplaced them. And I just finally found them. It's so nice to be able to have my dedicated room back and have a place. Like, I feel like everything belongs again. The house is getting really organized. So we've been kind of taking this month to do that. But these are by MMM Crafts, MMM Crafts. And she's on Etsy. She also has a website. And you just download and print these little patterns. She has a lot of different colorways that you can do. Do them in this felt on the fly. So it is needle felted wool. And so not like the wool that you use for wool applique. So they come in these sheets, and you can see I go hog wild when I do it. I go big or go home, right? So I have, this is my kit for these, and you just use DMC. The other thing that I did, so this is my project bag from my friend Amanda, and you just use like sequins and these little wood dowels that you paint for the head. Her directions are fantastic. Here's the wood dowels, and then chenille pipe cleaners, which are way down at the bottom. I keep everything stuffed in this big old bag that Amanda made me because it's perfect for this. And she has, her patterns are extensive, and I only bought the first 6, and because I said I would buy the second half when I finish these, and of course I haven't even started them. But here are the finished pieces, and she has a lot of different colorway versions. So when you get them, you can pick all sorts of different colorways, and she's got them like in pastels, and I think I did the jewel tone, and they're just really pretty, and they're very easy. The pattern that you download, use a water soluble paper. I don't even do that. I just draw on my lines and stitch over them with a air erase marker, and they're so easy because you literally just stitch. So it takes time to read the patterns, and like each one of these, like the partridge in a pear, this is just for the 6, but this is how detailed her instructions are. So don't let this overwhelm you because you just go step by step. So now that I found those again, I would really like to get a few more finished. Now this was the that does not include these two. This is another series called 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. There are several different colorways for this too, and these are for my grandkids. I made them in brighter colors, and then I have a second set going for myself that was in more traditional colors. But these are just super fun. Let me just show you the stocking. The detail on these is just amazing. It's a little snowman on the stocking, and then the little candy cane made with chenille and just some DMC that you twist around it. And I'll just show you the, it's just sequins and little beads. And you just paint the bead, and his hair and his beard, they're chenille. It's just so cute. Like I said, they're putsy, but they're so sweet. So you get the pattern from MMM Crafts. And then she has a couple different places where you can find the wool, and they're just so cute. And I chose to go with Felt on the Fly because they have 100% merino wool. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's just wool felt, and I want to say maybe a big pack. It may get a little bit spendy, but I personally think it's worth it. Let me pull out some more stuff. Okay, if you hear the tractor, I think my husband has started plowing. I can hear the tractor. So here is a wool kit that I'm working on. This is 3 vintage holiday pillows. And I think I will finish them like this, or if I can find a frame to pop them in. And these should really be done by now. It's ridiculous how long these are taking me. But this is a little candy cane, and then the little candle. I have worked on these recently. I think I finished this one up. And I think my problem was perfecting my chain stitches. I think there's a couple of these that require, I know what it was. There's some holly or some evergreen that you stitch in here, and I was having trouble with that. But those are almost done. And then I think these would be cute framed. You probably fit that in maybe a 5x7. I don't know. Or maybe pillows. I don't know. I like to keep all of my wool kits in these clear plastic, so I know what's in there. This one is Woodland Tree, and this is also Buttermilk Basin, and that's my finish on this one. And this is a set. This is a set of 3 trees. This is the small one, and yes, this is the small one, the medium, and the large. Now she does have some trees. I don't know if she ships these or not, but I don't think they're the same. I was just at the shop a few weeks ago, and I don't think they're the same as these, but you could adjust your pattern to fit into the ones that she now carries. So there's one to fit into each of them. In the small one is this sweet little deer, and then in the medium one here is this little bell snickle Santa, and I have this all kitted up. And then in the large one, which I really want to finish, is this church. So I have those all ready. So pretty. I love this church. Isn't that pretty? So I would like to get working on those. Okay, then I have a couple like mini quilt finishes. Normally I do Christmas quilts for all my grandkids. So they all have had at least 2 of them, except the new one, the new baby. She is not going to get one this year either. Just time got away from me. But my older kids, grandkids, they have, I thought I had it here. They have Christmas quilts that I did for them the year before last, and they're not fancy. They're, you know, like charm square pack quilts, just as because they're very utilitarian. I want them to use them. And then this is just a little table topper. I think these were boxes, like little tins that you'd buy from Moda, and they were called, I think they were called like Frivolis or something, and they just came in a little tin. I actually bought this for my mother-in-law, and she didn't get a chance to put it together before she passed away, so I got that back, and I have fuzzies everywhere. And so I finished it. And this, it's just nice to have this on the coffee table for a little pop of Christmas color. This isn't really, this, I would not call this my colorway, but I do love bright colors for Christmas though. It's very cheerful. Then I have another little mini kit that I put together. This is from the Jingle All the Way book by Debbie Busby. And I actually have a block of the month that I'm doing with this. I love it. I've had a lot of people contact me, so I am going to do another run of it. I think I had enough interest to put together another club. So that is going to be starting in January. I'm going to try and put that on my website while this posts. So it's not going to start shipping out until February 1st. It'll be approximately $70 a month, but the whole book is kitted and the whole book is phenomenal. And it'll be just the kits. So many people had already ordered the book, so I had a lot of requests to not have it. So it will not come with the book. You have to purchase that separately. And I'm out of stock of them right now. I'll see if I can get some in. But just, they have all these really small little projects that are just so sweet. And this one took no time at all. And it uses really nice fabrics and wools. So this one is wool applique. I showed these in my last video. I didn't have, I just had the blocks stitched and I got them all put together. These are diamond textile fabrics. I swapped it out in the book. It's gray. I used a red. And they're just so sweet. So it just took me like a couple evenings of stitching these blocks and a couple, not even a couple hours to put this together. And then I use April in Alabama on Instagram, Homestead Needleworks on Etsy, has these little hangers. This is how I hang this, and it's so cute. They come in different sizes. So if you want to get this one, this is the smaller one. I think it's 12-inch, and then there's a 16-inch. So just so you know, there's size differences. And they come in different colors too. I have a red one as well. And so those have been really fun. And then I've shown these before, but these are the plum pudding pincushions. So cute. They are part of that book as well. I did another one too. There's another one floating around here somewhere. I have a good collection of Christmas pincushions. I'll show you a couple. These, I have a couple of these on my website. They're little cocoa mugs that I made with their little handmade marshmallows. Got a little whipped cream. And I think I only have a couple of these left. A couple of years ago or last year, I made these little Santa mug pincushions. I did some out of wool. Most of them were out of wool. Mine, he actually had a little mark on his face, so I kept this one for myself. And this has a wool ball on the inside. And I do have a few more, but I just haven't been able to get them put together yet, so maybe next year. And let's see, is there anything else back here? My woolly tree. So these come in green and white. You can get these at the Woolen Needle. And let's show, I think that's all stitching back here. Oh, and then my little, these thread keeps are Not Forgotten Farm. And I got these as a gift from Teresa Vanette, Kitten Stitcher. Gave those to me. I love those. I think Lori makes, I'm sure she makes those herself and paints them. They're adorable. So it's a mitten, a boot, a hat, and a candy cane. I love it. So those are decorating my craft room. And then I have some of these thread keeps. Some of these I have in my shop. I'll tell you if I don't have them. So I have that one. I have the vintage stocking. I love this. And the vintage sleigh. And the little sheep. Another little sheep. I don't think these come painted. I painted mine. These come painted. And these have the ruler, the thread keep, and then on the back, it's got a corner gauge. And it says, stitching soothes the soul and inspires the mind. So that's cute. And then these I don't carry. This is a Kelmscott. Oops. And I have a bunch more of these Christmas ones. They're like vintage postcard. They're so pretty. This is something I would definitely like to stock though. And then while I'm back here, I wanted to show you how I keep my stitching. So normally I use project bags, but in the winter I have all these really cute little tins. This one was just, I got this at World Market. I think it had some like little cookies or something, and it's just a tin. I took everything out of it, but so I keep my Christmas stitching in these because then I can put them on the coffee table. The dogs can't get to them. I can put my fabric and everything, and my threads fit in here nicely. And then Brenda, when she came to one of my retreats, talked about Whitman's chocolates. If you were, I won't go into it, but if you were there, you remember that little lecture that she gave, which was really interesting and informative. And so I have snagged a few Whitman's chocolate boxes. So they're stitching. So cute. And then I have another one here that is also, and this one I left full so I could just show you, and you can see it's like a little mini sampler. And I guess they, at the chocolate factory, they have like a wall full of antique samplers. Her lecture was so interesting. And so then in here, I keep all my stitching, my threads. There's a couple projects in here. And then I also have this little box. I keep my scissors in here so it doesn't poke my fabric, with my needles as well. So that's what I do for the holidays. It's a little bit more cheerful. And okay, and I'll show you what I have been most recently working on. This is Christmas Alphabet by the Scarlet House. This is a newer kit. So I started this one. I did change the colors. I'm using licorice red, and my new go-to for white. Brenda has been using a lot of grits in her patterns. And when I'm doing Christmas stitching, a lot of times what I'll do is I just keep, because a lot of these are smalls and you don't use them all. So I keep a couple kits that I've kitted up, and they're all Christmas colors, and they all use a lot of Christmas colors. So instead of pulling new skeins or going and looking for thread, I'm super lazy and I just use whatever is out. This one only calls for 6 colors. So that's a real easy swap out, and you don't use much of really any of them. So I just pull from whatever I'm using at the time, and that works well for me. This one, I didn't pull the chart from this because I'm almost done with it. This is, I believe it's called Merry Old Soul. If that's not correct, I'll post it down here. But this is a with a needle and thread. I got this as a kit from Brenda at one of the retreats. And so it's all the called for colors, which are, let me see. It's this pack. This is the threads here for those. This is on a 46 count Confederate gray. Like I said, I bought this as a kit. I would not have probably chosen a 46 count, but it was with the kit, so I just challenged myself and did it, and it's not that bad. I mean, it's a little bit slower going, and if you stitch in hand, it's a little bit harder to get your needle in there. And I started this the last year or the year before. I don't think I did much stitching last year. I was having a kind of stitchy dry spell. So I'm pretty sure I started this the year before, but he's so cute. And I'm almost done with it. I just need to do a couple snowflakes and finish the berries, put some red in his candy cane, and do a little, I think they're French knots on the little snowman stocking. This is so cute. So, and then there's a companion piece with a little snowman guy. He's done on blue, and I think he's in another project bag somewhere. We might come across him. I'm also working on, I didn't bring it up here because there's nothing to show. It's just, I got my quilt squares cut, and then that's about as far as I got with this, but I am working on this. It shouldn't take long. It's like an afternoon project. And I love this so much. And these are kits that I have available as well. But I think what I'm going to do is I might make one a tree skirt. I actually cut 2 of them out. So I might make one a tree skirt. And then I'm thinking if I'll kind of decide as I go. I might make one. I wasn't sure if the corners, I doubt the corners are included, but I might put corners on this and just make it a table topper and not cut the hole, because you just cut a hole in there. Or I was going to gift one to my daughter. So, but those, it's so pretty. It's just like the perfect vintagey tree skirt, and it uses all of her, this is her buttermilk basin line. It's the same fabrics that are in here. It's Buttermilk Acres. And then I got my board for Christmas alphabet from April, and they come in 40 count and 36 count. So I got the 40 count, and I should mention that this is stitched on, I did the 40 count, even though it's dark. It's a little bit challenging, but it's not so dark, even though it's 40 count. And it's a basic off the bolt Zweigart. Dark cobblestone is the color, so it's much easier to see than, let's say, an overdyed. So it's not bad. So if you're worried about stitching on the darker fabric, she does have a 36 count board too. I did a bunch of kits, and most people did choose the 36 count. But I had already purchased the 40 count board, and it's a little bit smaller than the 36. Then Tanya had another chart last year, so I made sure it's on black fabric, so we'll see how that goes. But I made sure to order the board for that too. And then I have another pattern. I got all my stuff cut out, and I got all of my threads, which are just DMC. Oops. Oh, and then I also kitted it up with, let me just pull this out here. Where are my threads? Oh, there they are. I also kitted this up with all the fabric. This is a Kathy Schmitz, and here are all my threads. I won't take them out. They come with all the threads, and these are kits that I have too. These are embroidery. So cute. So it's like tracing on the line. So I want to get those started. I was really hoping that I would be a little farther along. And then the fabric that I kitted up with is just a really pretty linen. It's a Moda linen. Found a couple more finishes at the bottom of the pile. This is Heartstring Samplery, and it is Baby It's Cold Outside. I just popped this into a standard frame, and I actually forgot the roofs, or the chimneys on here, so I need to go back and do that. I also used a very, very old, this is another one where I just kind of pulled colors, and I used a very old hand dyed. It was an MPI. They used to do cottons. I think it was. But it bled just when I pressed it, because those old colors from the 90s were not color fast. I don't think you can see it a little bit, but I love this. I did this with a stitch along many, many years ago. So I think when it first came out. And then one more finish. This is another Little House Needleworks, and this is Winter Sampler. This is a whole series of them. And then I just made a little wall hanging, and I have this cute little hanger. I got this at Buttermilk Basin, and that just hangs on the wall. So cute. And I don't know if I used the called for colors or for that, but that one's still available. It's so cute. And that's a really quick stitch, and I did this on a 28 count. Looks like mushroom linen, or probably mocha or parchment. Parchment used to be kind of my go-to. And okay, let's get to the project bags. In here, love this. I do not have threads in here, which is why it's not done. I just have a few threads in here. This is And Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrick. And I need to buckle down and get the threads pulled so I can finish this, because it's absolutely stunning. And she has a bazillion more that I want to finish. Oh my gosh, look at those wrinkles. I'm so sorry. Again, I did the deer in a different color. I did everything in DMC. Oops. For the most part, I used the called for, but every time I pull this out, their threads aren't there for the trees. So I put it back away and grab something else. But I need to get that done for sure. Then next is the snowball. This is with thy needle and thread. And I think I'm only going to stitch these 4. I'm not sure yet. I have kind of a different finish planned for these, a little wall hanging. So we'll see. So cute. And I think I've got all of those, little snow globe. So pretty. I love blue with Christmas stuff. It's just so pretty. And this one is actually one I've been working on for a couple of years, and I pulled it out and I stitched on it last night. I love this one. It's a Madame LaFay, and I just downloaded this, purchased it off her website. So she prints on there and asks you not to copy it, which of course I wouldn't. There we go. Sometimes everything gets blown out. It's so pretty. And so last night I worked on this. There's an error up there. I'm 1 stitch off on the words, but it really didn't make much of a difference. So I would like to give this some love because I'm getting pretty close. So I tend to work on this in January, and I didn't stitch really for, I kind of lost my stitchy bug last winter, so it didn't get any attention, but it calls to me. And then it's just all DMC, which I keep like this. This is just a manila folder, and I just have my numbers all on here, but it keeps it all in one place for me. I wanted to work on this the other day, and I didn't have threads, so I ended up pulling the threads, and then it got too late, and I just went to bed. This is Barnyard Christmas by Prairie Schooler, and I think I have 4 of them done, 3 of them done. So cute, and I just did them in the DMC. So classic. My problem is, do you hear that? Oof. That's that Witchelt lamb's wool linen. I don't love it, but I think I may just power through with it and keep going. This one is Deck the Halls, and this is A Little Book of Strawberries by Blackbird. And this is just a copy that after it was stitched, you make a copy of it and pop it in a little frame. I love that idea. And I actually have 2 of these done. I'm going to show you my, the issue I was having. Love that. So cute. And I'm pretty sure that's a copy as well that you just, or maybe not. But I love the kind of dual purpose ideas for those. So sweet. So sweet. I think that was it. So I have 1 stitched and completely finished. I'm so mad at myself that I didn't photocopy that first, because I love the idea of putting that in a frame, and it's so cute. Maybe I'll stitch it again. Maybe I won't. So here are all the called for fabrics, which I love that they did them on all different colors. So I wanted to just mention this one. I did this early on when I was just kind of teaching myself how to stitch in hand, but I started on the wrong thread, which I've never really understood that concept until very recently, a couple years ago. I had Teresa Vanette sit down and show me, and since then I can't unsee it. So I just want to show you, if you look really close, you can see the stitches all look kind of messy. So up here, I did these, I started this on the wrong thread, which is why they look all haphazard like that. But if you look up here, I did just a little sample when it's done on the right thread, and you can see how much neater you look. I know I've seen lots of posts in the past about people mentioning that their white stitches look terrible, and it may be because you started on the wrong thread. So you want to start on a thread that goes over the next thread. There are diagrams and stuff out there that you can find on the internet, But if you're having that problem or you've noticed that about your stitching, that candle looked close. I just wanted to mention it's Peppermint Pals, the little friend to Santa. And this one, I dyed this Lugana myself, but I think I'm gonna dye a piece of linen because this, I don't know how you guys stitch on Lugana. The weave is so tight. Am I missing something? I mean, and this is a 32 count, but look at how tight the weave is. You can't even see through it. I don't know if it's the brand or what, but I don't think I'm going to challenge myself to do that one. And in this project bag, we have, oh, okay. These are more problem children. This is Not Forgotten Farm, Parson Brown. And here's my problem with this one, is I need to pull out all of course, again, I pulled colors and didn't record them, and then this colored outline doesn't work. It's too dark. So I need to pull that out and restitch it, and then sharing that project bag on the same fabric. This is it's called Merry and Minty, and it was a freebie by Brenda Gervais a few years ago. I think it's still available on our Facebook page, I think is where it was. So cute. Many of us did the stitch along with this. It's so sweet. I again changed my colors, and there's still some back stitching and some, I think, Christmas lights that I have to do, and I need to actually download that pattern because none of the patterns that I have in here have the very last one. She did them. It was like a mystery stitch along. It was really fun. And then I just thought I'd show you. So I am very much a seasonal stitcher. So I have this tote that I just got at Joann's. And I keep all of my Christmas stitching in Christmas project bags in this tote. And then during the year when I'm not in the holiday spirit, because I'm such a seasonal stitcher, I just put this in my craft room closet. And then when I'm ready and craving a little Christmas stitching, I just pull this whole thing out. And I know I'm going to have projects in here that are ready to go. Then I am also a knitter, and I tend to only like to knit now. I used to knit exclusively for many years. And so now I just knit. Most of the Vlogmas that I watch are knitters. So I pull out my socks this time of year. Hand knit socks are amazing, especially if you live in a cold climate like I do. So this is one of the socks I'm working on, and this is the colorway is Zombody. It's Cold Outside. It's no longer available, and it's by Desert Vista Dye Works. It's so pretty. And so this one I actually am using Knit Picks wood needles, and my needles, like 3 of them broke. The tips broke right off. I also keep that in my project bag. So I lost a couple stitches. But I'm finishing my daughter's socks for Christmas. And once I'm done with those, I will go back and pick up those stitches. Now, this is an Arkansas yarn company, and I think it's called Taffy. And this isn't really a Christmas colorway, but I think it looks kind of vintagey Christmas bauble colors. And I have one sock done. And I love this Eye of the Partridge heel. It just fits so nice and snugly. And this is, the pattern is called Vanilla Latte. It's obviously not blocked yet, but it's a very simple pattern. And then I'm working on the second. And this one, I have my Gnome Knitter. I get all my little markers from Gnome Knitter. I love her stuff. It's so cute. And I'm almost done. So this will just probably take me an evening to finish up. I've already done the heel and the gusset, and so I just have the toe to do, and that will be no time at all. I have a kitty coming in here, so he's probably going to jump on the table. Hey, Clyde. And then in this last one, some of my kids like handmade socks and some don't. My oldest daughter... she doesn't get it. Oh, and then this is just another one I have skeined up. But I have a set for Gary here somewhere. Okay, I don't know where his went, but I'm working on a shawl as well. And This, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. And this, I get a lot of knitting advents, and I'm using a lot of my minis. This is Yarn Cafe Creations. This is the one I got 2 years ago. And so these are my next colors that I just put on there. But isn't that gorgeous? And this is the Find Your Fade by Andrea. Andrea Knits is her pattern company name. And my charm, little holiday cocoa mug. But so beautiful. And then it's going to fade into the other half. It'll go into probably a green. So that's really pretty. I knew it was here somewhere. So these are the ones I'm doing for Gary. I originally bought these for myself, but I didn't realize there was such a gray undertone to them. So pretty though, right? And then I got the mini skeins, and it's such a big skein. I got the mini skein for cuffs and toes, and I wised up when I did his, and so his will have red cuff. I'm doing 2 at a time, and actually I think I started these for myself, and because of the stripe and how many stitches I was using, I was just getting pooling colors. So one side was this color and the other side of the sock was this color, so it just didn't work. So it worked better to make a larger size for Gary, and that's where I am, and I have both of them needles, and DPN keepers are a lifesaver for me. So I'll work on those as well. He really likes handmade socks, but he doesn't like to ask for them because he is very hard on his socks and he wears through them quickly. And then I keep finding stuff. Forgot to show you, I also have a plea that if anyone has any 18 count natural linen that they would like to sell me, I would be most grateful, because you can't get this anymore, and I have a couple stockings left to do. This one, I did this one back in 92 when my daughter was born. And so it's an 18 count natural linen. It's Shepherd's Bush. This one is Peter. I remember that's the name of the stocking. I use them and I stuff them every year, and I just backed everything in neutral colors because I knew that anything I used back in 1992 when she was 30, like she is this year, would be very dated. So, I mean, they maybe still be a little dated, but I just love them. So the charms are kind of missing in some places and hanging off in the others, but they love them. And this is Madeline's, her little angel. I think this is Sophia. And then Joshua's, I don't remember Joshua's. And then I've had this one stitched since the year my grandson was born. He's 11. But his sister's, Alexis, hers has caused me fits. And I never felt like I could finish his without finishing hers. And now there's another one. We have baby Reagan. So, and I do have linen for hers, but I would like to do one for my son-in-law and for my future son-in-law and grandkids in the future. I'd like them all to match. So I did order some, which I thought was linen, and I got a whole yard of it, and it ended up to be Aida, and I was so incredibly disappointed. So if you have any and you would like to unload it, I would be most grateful to buy it from you. And then I should cut this video short, but I really wanted to show you, and I took the time to put them all together. So I want to show you some kits that I have that have been forever on my to-do list. So I bought these quite a while ago. These are only, and I don't even know if these are available anymore, but you can check Country Stitches online, which is Brenda's website. And these little cuties. Now mine came with the little piece of wood, and those would take no time at all to stitch. I really need to finish those. Those are so cute. And then I bought this kit from her at one of my retreats, and that's all kitted up. So pretty. And these are all things that I have kitted up. This Joyous Season, I bought this when this was an exclusive, and they kitted this up. So that's really pretty. So I'm assuming that's all the called for. This one came out of a Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It is by the primitive hair. It's just so cute. I'm guessing this is probably a pattern that's available now. And I didn't like my fabric choice, so I want to, before I got anything else stitched on it, I wanted to probably like coffee dye it so it's a little bit darker, because those whites are going to be challenging to show up. And this one came out of the 2016 Christmas winter issue. And that's just a copy out of my magazine. Or actually, I had the digital copy of this one. And then I have this little cutie, Teresa Kogut. And I have that one kitted up with the floss. This was a club kit from Dying to Stitch. It's part of the Quaint Country Ladies Club, I believe. And it's got all the fabric and everything in there and a floss card. So that's ready to go whenever the mood strikes. And that one is called Merry and Bright. And that's available now. I sell a lot of those. And then part of, I think it's still part of the booklet, I'm not sure, but part of the Winter Rose Manor booklet was this little pincushion. So I still have all of my floss from Stitching Winter Rose Manor, and I'm definitely going to stitch that. So pretty. I'm pretty sure that's still in there. Then I have My Gift to Thee, which is Scarlet House, and I pulled all the threads for that. And this would take no time either. This is Mary Holly Berries with Thy Needle and Thread. And I have that all kitted, and I even put a little piece of linen in there. And then I have Bells of Christmas. This is another one I bought from Brenda at the retreat. Sorry about the glare on that one. So pretty. I've seen a lot of people stitching this. And that's all kitted up with, I hear a jingle bell in there. There. And all that. Lots of, this is going to be Brenda heavy. Then there is Winter Gatherings. So cute. I have plans to turn this into a needle book. And then I have threads for that. This one, I have the box and everything for this, and I cannot believe I haven't stitched this yet. But I pulled out the chart a couple times to start it, and there is a lot of stitching. But look at how stinking cute that is. I would even stitch this all twice. It's so sweet. This is Sleigh Bells, Pin Keep, and Ornament. I really love this. And I have that kitted up. Is that really only 3 colors? Only 3 colors. No, I must be missing some, because there's the horse color in there too. But this is an old one. I don't even think that this is available on our website anymore, but this is Snowy Meadow. And this will be just something I just kind of pull as I go. There's only a few threads, so I just dyed fabric for that. This is another kit I bought from Brenda that would take no time to put together, and it's got the hoop and everything in there. And then I will stain mine again. That's so cute. This one I love. I saw somebody that stitched this maybe over one, but this has a the linen. I don't know if mine does or not. I can't really tell, but it's supposed to, the called for linen has like a silver thread in it. I don't think mine does, which is fine. I've heard that's kind of hard to stitch with, and I'm pretty sure this is a 40 count. But that is adorable. I love that. I love Brenda's snowmen. Home for Christmas. This was another club kit. Plum Street Samplers. So cute. I've seen this stitched. It's gorgeous. And I have Whitaker. I've done a couple of the Stacy Nash Animal Crackers series, and they're just so stinking adorable. So I'd really like to get that one done. Gathering the Greens sampler. Look at those threads. Yikes! So pretty. And that's it for that basket. Okay, my last basket here. I just really want, I know this is so long, but thank you for sticking in there if anyone's still watching. This is a Susan Aki. She designed this little sampler, and all the threads are in here. They are glorious little colors. Does this flip open? Oh, they're, oh. Well, they're Aurifil threads, and in just these really bright, cheery Christmas colors. And it is so cute. That is really kind of blowing out here. But they're so pretty. It's not an inexpensive little pack, but I think you get like 12 colors in here. It's 6 strands of floss and 18 yards of spool. That's a lot of thread. And then the pattern comes in the box with it. So I really want, I've had that for a while. I actually stock those on my website as well. I have another Jack Frost kit. Not the whole kit, but I have this little thing that I want to stitch. I'm sure I have it in here. It's probably doesn't have a picture on it, but I want to get that stitched. And then I have this little Chessie and Me Christmas cabin. It's so sweet. My friend Sue gave this to me. It was a kit, and she stitched it too, and it's adorable. And it's just little. It's so sweet. Then once I get the Madame Lefay one that I was working on, I want to start this one. It's so cute. I do have the pink linen, but I actually think what I'm going to stitch it on is this blue. And this came from, this was gifted to me. This is a silk weaver, and it's gorgeous. And that would, I think this would look so cute on it. And I have that kitted up. It's all DMC, and I have all the DMC in there. So as soon as I finish that one, I will be able to start this one. Then I have Pineberry Lane Farmhouse Christmas. So sweet. Only requires a couple of floss colors, so I just dyed my threads, and I'll just pull from stash as I go. This, I have seen so many people stitch this, and they are gorgeous. Kathy has such a way. And I bought the Aurifil thread pack for this one as well, and I have my all of my fabrics, because they're actually, I think they were different counts. And I put a couple different fabrics in there. Then this one, I've seen a lot of people show this and a lot of people stitching it. I think it's called something else now, but it was Merry Christmas. And this was a Dying to Stitch Club kit. When I got this, oh, gorgeous. It's a big chunky drum. Oh, here's the one I was talking about, the exclusive that is, I don't know if this is available or not. No, limited edition. It's Twin Peaks Primitives. I'll probably swap out for like a true red versus that kind of orangey color. And it was just DMC, and it came with the little thread pack with the little design on it. This one, you're going to wonder about this. This is Tiny Modernist, and it was a mystery sampler, a 6-part mystery sampler. Santa's House. Let me show you here, because I have, it's all been released now. So this is the final. When Madeline went off to college, we were going to start stitching this, and we did a little bit. She started it and brought it home. She didn't get much done. And I just found the linen difficult because it's a Lugana. So I don't think I'd be able to find it in linen, because it's a Lakeside Linen gingerbread, I believe. 28 count gingerbread Lugana. Oh, picture this plus it is. So either way, that would be hard to find. But I have a really hard time with the Luganas. I'm telling you, the weave is so tight on it. But that was all she got done. But we have it all kitted in my same fashion, because this requires 2 threads. And I just put it on a board. I just used a piece of like book board and put all of the DMC. Those are bright, aren't they? But I thought that would be kind of fun for her and I to do. And then, of course, she's graduating from college this year, or she'll graduate in the spring. So that didn't work well for us. But maybe someday we'll work on it. So that was all I had. Thank you. I do have a bunch more. I was going to show you my quilt kits and stuff, but I just think that this video is long enough. So if you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. I always appreciate your comments and your likes and your thumbs up and everything. So have a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holiday or whatever you celebrate.